Good evening. It's Tuesday. This is 9/15/2015. Tonight's topic is prisons for profit, an internal problem for our community. This has been something I've been wanting to get into. It's probably going to be a multiple series. I've been trying to squeeze a lot into these 30 minutes. I may have to expand it out according to what we're trying to do here. Still testing some things. Like I say, I'm glad you guys bear with me. We just had some technical difficulties earlier, uh, and didn't have the microphones adjusted right inside this program. But we've worked that out, and now we're going to move ahead. Uh, I think there's a big issue in our internal workings as far as a lot of us have relatives who are in the prison system for one reason or another. Uh, some of them may not be bad people. They may have a habit or a lot of petty crimes, and we don't look down on them for that. We just pray and hope that they'll turn their lives around. But I've been looking through a lot of articles and videos about how the corporate America is investing in prisons at such a high rate, whereas they have what's called a lobbyist that are out here pushing different programs and pushing for different laws to be changed, whereas it's easier just to lock people up. And it's just not black people, but white people and all other type of people are getting locked up under the same system. What makes our plight a little different is that we're locked up at a higher rate. Blacks make up 12% of the people in the United States, yet we're 65% of the prison population. So of course that's going to affect us adversely from the mere point of when a father or a son or something is locked up and they were the providers for the family. Now you don't have that provider. You don't have that structure inside the home to make sure that everything is going the way it should be going. Kind of like the lion. So even if that brother's not working or whatever, he's still the lion of the house and he's still in charge of everything. He's supposed to make sure that everything is protected. The kids are protected. They go to school. The wife or girlfriend is protected from the environments that they may find themselves in. You take that away and then you create a whole bunch of chaos. And I know a lot of women out here, oh, I do a great job at raising a man. You really don't, because you really can't raise a man, and beat me across the head with it all you want to. It's a different thing the way boys relate to their fathers and boys relate to their mothers. And I would never try to tell a woman I know more about raising girls than she does because she's a woman. So there's no way I can know all the nuances of what it takes to raise that young lady. I mean, I can try, and I have tried, and I only can put so much of what I have into them. But the female influence has to be put into them, just like the male influence has to be put into our young men, because they're the ones that are suffering at a high rate. And regardless of what the rest of the population is saying out here in America, they could basically care less, because it's a system. Starts off in the juvenile system, moves on from the juvenile system to the adult prison system, and now, like I said, we got these corporations that are just now buying in at an astounding rate and making big money. Making big money. Before we go any further, we want to promote businesses. Always want to do something positive. I'm the owner of RPC Computing. RPC is your PC, whatever your computer needs are. Give us a call, 773-416-2955. We're located in Lansing, Illinois. If you'd like me to promote your business, you can drop me an email at theshow65@yahoo.com, or you can leave me a message on our web channel, the show on YouTube, or you can join the chat and send us something inside the chat room. Right now I got a couple of screens going on. You can't see everything, so you might notice me looking around every now and again. That's because I'm looking at different views. I'm going to have to redo my studio here. You know, we're still trying to grow. We're trying to do what we do, and maybe this is something that you want to do, or I may can help you do something if you're trying to produce a show. Again, we always want to promote some positivity, some things. There's so much going on in the world, so much going on in our community, and only we can change our community. So I'm going to go ahead and get into the meat of the show. Like I say, it's called Prisons for Profit, an Eternal Problem for Our Community. I know prisons isn't supposed to be a happy place, and you don't expect to be getting treated to steak dinners and everything, but it's a mental process that they develop inside of you as you're going through this system. First they humiliate you during the intake, and then they control your life all while you're in there, and then when you get out, they've messed your life up so much it's hard for you to get a job. It's hard for you to get back into society. And these aren't excuses. These are just facts of things that happen if we all know somebody that's incarcerated. And like I say, and a lot of people are incarcerated. We're just incarcerated at a higher rate based upon something that happened a long time ago, starting back with the Reagan era, and them pushing the drugs into California, and then moving on to the Bill Clinton days, and this unfair sentencing of rock cocaine versus powdered cocaine, and how many young men got sent to prison on that. Or now the big thing, everybody's getting these legal marijuana dispensaries at $100,000 a pop, which most of us could not afford. But yet Ray Ray is still sitting in jail serving an 8-year bid for selling marijuana. Like I say, the hypocrisy of this, and we really have to reach out to our young men. There's a scene, and I'm going to start the show now with this scene.
Whatever changes you have to make, then you just do it. You got to think about your life. Being a black man in America isn't easy. The hunt is on. And you're the prey. All I'm saying is, survive. All right?
And that's something to have to tell a young man, survive. But that's what we do every day. We survive. We put up with this bull from the police officers, bull from the job, bull from the school. It's almost like it's nowhere we can go where we're not feeling persecuted. And that's even if you're doing the right thing. So don't get it twisted that, you know, you're going to put on a shirt and tie and things are going to be lovely, because it's not. But you have to keep creating those avenues, and like I was talking about last week, ownership. If you locked up and you get out of jail and you can't find a job, then you got to make yourself an own job. Whatever your skill set is, then that's what you're going to have to develop. If you selling socks, incense, whatever you're doing, that's what you got to do. Because prisons are big money. Big money. I'm going to share something else with you right here.
Raymond Joshua, come out.
So when you're in this building, I want you to stay alive, to listen carefully to me. Nobody in here is your brother. I don't care if they're as black as you are, as light as daylight. They are not your brother. You mind your business, son, and you'll stay alive. Every day somebody gets shanked in here. Every day somebody gets beaten up in here. We got predators in here, son. We got people who'll cut your throat for nothing at all but a pack of cigarettes. You mind your business in here, son. Do you understand where you are?
Tongue with the balls. Turn around, spread cheeks with both hands at the same time. Show me the bottom of your feet. Turn around, face me, bend over at the waist, bring your fingers through your head. Just like this.
Your number is going to be given to you. It's a sequential number. It's not a random set of numbers, son. That number means something. It's your number. It's your number now. You know what that number represents, son? 276,000. Now listen carefully to me, and you'll understand a little bit about what makes me so angry. We only have less than 500,000 people in the District of Columbia, son. Now only 70% of them are black. Now what's 70% of 500,000? Do the math. We got about 350,000 black people in D.C. Of the 350,000, half of them are female, aren't they? But what's that? Use the math, son, the math. Less than 175,000 people are males like yourself. Now, all of them not over 21 years of age. Half of them are kids. Now, the devil, if we got only 75 to 80,000 adult males in the District of Columbia, is the number 276,000 a day. Figure it out for yourself. We've exhausted a 21-year-old, 20-year-old, 19-year-old. We're working on 18. We're moving on down the line, son. By the time we cross 300,000, we'll be down in the 16 and 17-year-olds. We're wiping out our race in Washington, D.C. And here you are in here playing these little silly-ass games. Well, we got something for you, son. Welcome to the D.C. jail. You might make it out of here, and you might not.
Now, that's just Washington, D.C. The numbers staggering. But why is it like that all throughout America in our neighborhoods? That's the question we got to ask. And that's what we got to take responsibility for. And I'm going to put it more so on the brothers than anything, because if we go to jail, we're letting our families down, letting our sons down, letting our women down. And the reason everybody's standing on the corner now is because of our failures. Because we're not there to protect our offsprings. If you're sitting in a jail cell, you can't protect. That's the part about being a man. And the government, it plays a big part. It's been doing it forever. With the welfare, that was one of the first moves to get you out of the house. You don't need him. He's not doing anything as far as we're concerned. You get him out the house, we'll put this money in for you. We'll give you an apartment. We'll make your life better. And they fell for it. And we fell for it. And that just started a whole big cycle. But that's a whole nother topic, a whole nother show we'll get into. I did some research on prisons. There are two groups in America, and they are the biggest corporations that are now investing in prisons. And I didn't realize how much money they could make, but both these institutions are making about $1.7 billion a year off inmates. One is called the Correction Corporation of America, CCA. The other one is called the GEO Group. Both these house about 900,000 inmates apiece. But not only them, but some of the people we buy from every day are investing. The average person in prison that's working can only earn $1.30 a day. The products they're making, you'd be amazed. I found that Target invests in prisons, HP, Victoria's Secret, Chevron, Starbucks, AT&T, Wendy's, and on and on. Profit margin is huge. The corporations control the commissary. So that's the only place you can buy from, other than if you're going to be doing some dealing in there. You got to buy from them, and the rates is what they make them. And they've slowly increased the rate in the commissary. Now here's the other twist. They're making prison comfortable. Oh, you can get this, you can get this, you can get this. You can live better in here than you are out there. We want to take care of you because, and we're not saying this, because you making us money. It costs about $44,000 to $80,000 a year to house an inmate. You could send that same person to school or put them in a training program for about $8,000-9,000 a year. Why are we not focusing on rehabilitation and moving people into that area? Because there's no profit in that. Why do I want you to go out and be a good citizen? For what? You're not making me no money. Oh, that money you can turn around, put in your own neighborhood, invest in your own kids, and do your own thing. That doesn't help me. I'm America. That doesn't help me. I got all these corporate people here saying we need to do some things and lobby for some laws and get these people locked up, whether it's guns or drugs, whatever it is. We need bodies in these cells, and we keep falling for it. I'm just looking down the list here of things I wrote down. And here's another crazy part. Say you unfortunate enough to get 15, 20 years, and you're working at this $1.30 a day wage. Guess what happens when you get old enough? You ain't getting no Social Security. For what? They don't consider that real work. That's forced labor. You are basically signed up to be a slave. A lot of people don't know where the word peon came from. It was a system that was developed back in the day. This was after slavery, where they would find ways to target black men. Like if you were just standing around doing nothing, you could be grabbed, forced into the system. It was called the peon system, and you could be locked up and forced to work off a debt that you didn't even incur, but they saying you was doing this, and this, and you're gonna have to work for 2 years now. Wouldn't be able to contact your family or anything. That's where the word peon comes from. That was the peon system. We had to start studying and seeing how we're being attacked here, how we're being targeted here, how our kids are being targeted here. Like I say, you take the father out of the home, that's the protection taken away from the young boys that are trying to grow into men. Then they have to rely on that other system. We have to realize that, and I'm sure most black folks realize it. There's two worlds out here, and we're the ones that have to find a way to survive in both of them. You know, the streets have a structure just like corporate America has a structure. In the streets, the players and the dope dealers and everybody, those are the ones that are the teachers in that system. And you got to learn quick. If you don't learn, where you're gonna be? You're gonna be dead, or you're gonna be in one of these institutions. So it becomes hard to get out of these situations. but you can't get out. Going back to these corporations, CCA, Corporation of America, and looking up some of their shares, when they bought a Erie Lake prison back in, I want to say 2011. At that time, the shares were $10 a share. Now they're $40 a share. It's big business. This is one of our internal problems that we're having, where we have to figure a way to change that, because if you don't change it, it's going to continue. It's going to get worse and worse. That's going to be the series that we're going to be working on. Internal problems. We know what the external problems are. First, we have to get past all the internal stuff that entraps us, that encases us. We got a lot of pride. Hey, we've got a lot of pride. And we have to mend a lot of fences. And when I say mend a lot of fences, it's us, the men, have to mend a lot of fences. You have to go to your son and say, I'm sorry for not being present in your life. I had that conversation with my father when I was 18. He was absentee dad out there in the street doing what he do. I still loved him, but you know, it is what it is. And I appreciate him coming to me and saying, I'm sorry about that, son. I wasn't there for you. But you got to do it with your wife and everybody. And then you have to change. Your son's not going to change until he sees you change. If you banging, he banging most likely. You hanging out drinking, he hanging out drinking. It's internal crap. Now, and until we get our communities together and things like that, we can't move forward. But you got to realize it's a game. It's a political game designed to stop you on every angle. It's the stores that are in our community that take the money out of the community, and it leaves you in a slum situation. It's the slum lords that aren't taking care of the property. It's the absentee fathers. It's the drugs. And we're going to do a whole story about the drugs, because everybody knows who's standing on those corners. It ain't like they just mysteriously appeared. Everybody knows. Plain and simple. Just like I showed that clip from the Mac the other day. The solution is to clean up everything and then start all over fresh. And I know that's hard. That's easier said than done, because people are surviving. Like I say, it's two worlds. And some of us have navigated into that second world, but we're still connected to that first world. And like I say, for me personally, that, you know, seeing the system for what the system is, and how you're systematically targeted for failure. And the ones that make it, we make it regardless of the opposition, but everybody doesn't make it. So, and that's why those of us that get a little bit of success, or whatever we want to call it, we have to reach back and grab somebody else. I'm not going to be in a soapbox tonight. Like I say, if you got a project or something out there and I can help you with it, or you're trying to do something, hey, let me know. All I'm trying to do is uplift myself, uplift my family, uplift my community. We're going to do it like we always do, Don Cornelius style. Love, peace, soul. We out.
Step out of the car.
No, you don't have the right.
Step out of the car.
You do not have the right to do that.
I do have the right. Now step out or I will remove
I
you.
refuse to talk to you other than to identify myself.
Step
Now if your woman ain't no revolutionary, she'll persuade you to be a fucking slave for the rest of your days. She'll be grooming you on how to behave. Kenny G, you a lesbian. For every 100 black women who ain't locked up, it's only 83 black men remain. Take away 1.5 million black men who might have benefited they women and their children. You don't know a war when it's waged against you, when it makes you drive your baby mama to the clinic just to kill your own. Ain't no legacy to leave behind, cause ain't nobody sitting on your throne. You motherfuckers are asleep in a war zone, living a nightmare, dying in your own home. If you don't stop, you gon' lose what you got left. I'd rather die trying to fight for my last breath. Freedom or death, you asleep in a war zone, living a nightmare, dying in your own home. If you don't fight, you gon' lose what you got left. I'd rather die trying to fight for my last breath. Freedom or death, nigga. Sandra Bland was a rider. She wouldn't have committed suicide, and you a motherfucking liar. It would not be wise to stop when you hear sirens and you see the police behind you, but you don't wanna die. They gon' shoot you if you run. They gon' say that you was going for the police gun. That's why they shot you like 120 times, but you was still coming, so they put another bullet in your lung. Them devils got you praying while they murder, because they know you on that bullshit. They steady with them bull clips and body armor. They kill your women in the street, cause they figure you too weak to do anything about it. You some shit, getting fucked in your sleep. They poison you every time you brush your teeth. You don't care, you behave like a slave, a bitch from the cradle to the grave, on your knees with your hands out, begging cause you wanna be saved. Are asleep in a war zone, living a nightmare, dying in your own home. If you don't stop, you gon' lose what you got left. I'd rather die trying to fight for my last breath. Freedom or death, you asleep in a war zone, living a nightmare, dying in your own home. If you don't fight, you gon' lose what you got left. I'd rather die trying to fight for my last breath. Freedom or death, nigga.